What's going on, everybody? Jordan here from Attack on Anime, and today we are going to review Boku no Hero Academia. And this anime has been receiving a lot of hype recently. A lot of people on the forums have been saying that this could potentially be one of the next big three, and I thought that's a huge statement considering, you know, our big three now. And a lot of people are saying it could be the new Hunter x Hunter, so that's really interesting as well. But this anime is really good because of the storyline and what they can potentially do with it. There's so many possibilities and so many different routes they can take with this anime. Our main character, Izuku Midoriya, is a very interesting character because he reminds me of Rock Lee from Naruto. They're essentially like the same person because Izuku has no quirks, and quirks in their world is superpowers, but he still wants to be a hero, just like Rock Lee can do no ninjutsu or genjutsu, but he still wants to be a ninja. Their whole world is set up where 80% of the population has superpowers. So actually, if you don't have superpowers, you're actually rare. You have monsters that attack the city, and then you have heroes that show up and combat the monsters. Now, the heroes in their world are like modern day celebrities. Everyone has their own favorite hero, and they kind of all have their signature moves that everybody knows and can kind of shout out. And I think that's really cool because it kind of creates like a hype for the hero, and it's like essentially you can be your own star, and I like that. Like, it reminds me of like the Marvel universe. Like, I'm walking around outside and you see Spider-Man, or you see Wolverine, or you see the Silver Surfer, or just some random hero like at any given day. And I like how these heroes have their own laws and rules, and they're regulated by the government as well, because it lets them know, yeah, you have superpowers, but you're not above law. Also, the heroes in this universe are actually contracted by the government, and they get paid based upon their performance. So as we move on into the story, we're introduced into the main character, Izuku, and he goes to Adera Junior High School, like the entry-level academy for kids with powers and kids without powers. They live amongst each other. And Izuku is the only one in the classroom who doesn't have a power. The teacher asked them, what do you guys want to do upon graduating from high school? And people were saying, oh, I want to go here, I want to go here and there. But the teacher already assumes that, I assume everyone in this classroom wants to be a hero, because a hero is like an actual occupation now in their world. It's like being a doctor or a lawyer. And our main character, he's very weak and unconfident because, one, he lacks power, so he's basically ostracized in this room with all these people who he has like nothing in common with. We get introduced to the antagonist, and his name is Katsuki Bakugo. And when I think of him, I think of Sasuke right off the bat, because he's that kind of cool genius where he's like exceptional at everything. He said he was like the #1 in his class. He aced all his hero exam. He wants to get into UA, and UA in their universe is like the Harvard of hero schools. They have like a 2% acceptance rate, and he wants to get in, and Izuku also shares the same goal as him. So right off the bat, that's setting up the conflict between those two. And I already know this is going to be a classic rivalry between them. Every great anime has a classic rivalry. The Gokus, the Vegetas, the Naruto, the Sasukes, you know, now we have the Izukas and the Katsuki. So it's like, it's interesting because he feels threatened by Izuku because Izuku has the same goal as him. But Katsuki kind of is like, yo, I want to be the one that comes from this mediocre school and makes it into, you know, the Harvard of hero school. And he gets kind of jealous because he wants that accolade. Because remember, heroes get paid based off of their performance and their resume. So if he adds that to his resume, then he'll be exceptional on top of being exceptional. So that right off the bat fuels their rivalry. And he also calls him Deku. Now, Deku is a translation for like a type of shrub or something like that, which can be translated into basically being a scrub or someone who lacks skills. But it's kind of funny because Izuku doesn't necessarily just lack skills. He's also perceived to be analytical because he's always studying and taking notes. So he knows heroes well. He knows their talents and their abilities. He just can't perform anything. And the thing I found weird about this is how they actually discovered how he didn't have any powers. Apparently they went to the hospital and they talked to a doctor, and the powers kind of stem from missing joints in your pinky toe. And I thought that was kind of like a weird, quirky way to find out if you have powers or not. Because if you're missing the 2 joints in your pinky toes, then that means you have a rare mutation, and that means you have the power. But if you have all your joints and you're normal, then you don't have any powers. And they did an x-ray on Izuku, and he's found to have both the joints, so thus he doesn't have any powers. But it's kind of weird because both his parents have quirks. His mom can pull small objects toward her, and the dad breathes fire. So if Izuku could have gotten like a rare combination of both of those, he might have been able to put that to use. Eventually in the story, Izuku is walking to a sewer, and some fluid-like monster attacks him, and he's about to suffocate him to death. And then none other than our main hero, All Might, shows up and saves the day. Now All Might, I compare him to the Hokage because he's acknowledged by everyone in the show. Katsuki even said, I want to be a greater hero than All Might. And after All Might saves Izuku, they have a moment on the roof. And Izuku tells him, hey All Might, is it possible that someone without quirks, can they be as great as you one day? And that kind of sparked All Might's attention. So the episode ends right there, but that lets us know, that's setting us up for their long friendship. This is basically like Jiraiya taking on Naruto, or Might Guy taking on Rock Lee after finding out he has no talents. I'm gonna train this young man. And the first episode was very lit. I'm excited to see the next episode and see where they could take this series. Because like I said, it's been getting hyped. People were saying it could be the next, one of the next big threes. It could be the next Hunter x Hunter. So, like, that's a huge statement. So it has to live up to that hype. And right now, off the first episode, it piqued my interest. So my predictions for the next episode, I wonder what's up with All Might. Before they went into the roof, All Might had coughed up some blood after he had just fought the fluid-like monster. So I'm wondering, is there something up with All Might and his powers? Is there something where he can only use his powers for a duration of time, where before he, you know, becomes powerless or takes a toll on his body? Is there a limit to him? And I wonder, will Izuku ever get into UA having no powers? I mean, that's kind of like saying I'm gonna get to Harvard and I got all F's, you know? Also, I wonder what other powers are there out there. I mean, in a world where 80% of the population has powers, they can explore this a lot. And I hope they set this anime up like Fairy Tail, in a sense where it's not just focused on Izuku so much. We can kind of see what Katsuki's doing. We can kind of see what All Might's doing. They could bounce around with multiple heroes and see what's going on. Will we find out what's wrong with All Might? Will Izuku get powers? Find out on the next review of Attack on Anime. But that's all the time we have here for today, guys. Please debate, comment, let me know what you guys thought of the first episode. You know, subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with your mom, you know, all that good stuff. But thanks, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys on the next review.